Hello. Hey everyone. Hey Andy. Nice to see you here. Hey Swapnil. How are you doing?
Yeah, doing good. Hi, Olivia. Hi, all.
Good. So for the newcomers or the old comers, I guess, I'm Alimi. I'm a developer advocate at Postman, and I'm here today with Swapnil, who I'll let introduce himself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Swapnil. I work at Bangalore office. I'm a technical support engineer with Postman.
So
Yeah.
as always, uh, as always, it's the third time we're doing office hours, I think. But yeah, for the last two times, I've been cheating a bit and getting people from product support just because they have the knowledge that I don't have, which is nice. So any good question, it will go to Swapnil. Any easy question, it will go to me, and I'll pretend that I'm uh, a know-it-all. So it's good. So which we already have a question from Andy, which is what APIs are we hitting today? So today we start by hitting the discourse API just because we need to hit it to let people know that we're live. Then I think Swapnil is doing some GitHub synchronization, and I'm not sure which APIs he's doing that with. And then it's just a matter of what people will ask us questions. If Andy, you have questions about a specific API, or like you're using Postman and you don't know how to do something, let us know and we can go through it. But yeah, today is mostly about you watching it. If you have questions, let us know and we'll try to help you achieve your goals. So let's get started and move to share my screen. So we don't have um, that many new things since last time we streamed, which was last Thursday. So yeah, we don't release every week. We release every 2 weeks, and the next release is next Monday. So nothing brand new. But one thing that we did want to show today with Softme was uh, Artemis, which is Postman for the web, so Postman on your browser, which is what I'm using right now. So as you can see, I'm on Chrome. I can go to any website. I was on Twitter earlier. I've got my tweet deck here, and I've got Postman straight here. So if you've been using the Postman dashboard earlier, which is where you can see your collections, anything that you have, or just if you want to see the API network, which is all the APIs that are published by all the publishers. Well, now you have this new tab, which is build with the beta tag, which um, leads you to Postman basically. It's still in beta. We're looking for feedback, so you'll find that um, you'll find places to put feedback in the community forum. But what I wanted to show is how you can do whatever you would do in other places. So I'm gonna switch to my Twitch workspace, and what we'll do is send that request that we built in a stream. I can't remember where, but like a while ago, um, to send a notice to our community forum to say that we're live. So we have this body, which is the content that is going to be shown. So I'm going to go and say we're live answering questions on Twitch, and we'll put some bold. So as I remember, it accepts HTML. If it doesn't, I mean it does actually. There's a link here, so it should. Um, and now I'll send that, and it should fail, but it's fine. So what it says, it's browser does not support cross-origin requests, and that's the main thing with having Postman in your browser, is that there's a lot of securities when from the front end you try to call an API, and browser tend to stop this request because otherwise you could spam a lot of other websites. So one thing that we've done, we've released a desktop agent, which runs on your laptop. All you have to do is start it, then it runs in the background. It's just a small process in the background, and you can go ahead and switch from browser to desktop. It's going to take a while. It's going to check that it's installed, and once it's installed, it should say it's fine, hopefully. Okay, so why is it not saying it's installed? let's give it a bit more time. But yeah, okay, cool. So it worked.
Yeah, it
And
works.
yeah, so I'm guessing if I send it now, it goes
Whoa.
through. I'm getting my 200 okay, which is nice. And if I go to our community forum and refresh that page, we're live answering questions on Twitch. Hey Lorna, good morning. Um, Good question, Andy. How do I flag junk on Twitch? You just let me know, and I'll go and ban them straight away. And it's gone. Yeah, I just need to pay more attention to the chat. I was too involved in demoing Artemis for the third time on Twitch that I didn't notice that. But yeah, cool. So that's Artemis, which is like dumbed down. Is just Postman in your browser. But if you kind of think about it, it's uh, quite amazing that you can just run that there. So Swapnil, question for you. And I'm guessing you have the answer to that, but what is the most requested feature like we have for um, for Artemis?
Most requested feature.
Would you guess?
No,
No.
I.
Okay, that's fine. So one of the main thing that we have uh, is that people love the fact that, and it seems to be the same here. People love the fact that you can not have something running on your desktop to test your APIs, etc. But we're still limited by the fact that you have to have that desktop agent, which is still, even though it's something that you won't need to update as often as Postman, even though it's like just a small size agent, it's still something that runs on your desktop. So the most requested thing that we have is Cloud Agent, which would be something that you can hit on hosted on our cloud that you don't have to care about, um, and that's it should come eventually. It will come eventually. I don't have a date for it, but yeah, it is definitely something that we're watching and that we're looking forward to release. Um, oh, hey, cool avatar. And Lorna says she's got a few days of R&D time, so I'm putting up Postman and being paid for that today. Sounds like my job, Lorna. What are you doing? I actually saw your tweet about playing with Webhooks, and I saw Kevin's response. I think he's already documented that somewhere. So hopefully, when he comes online, he will share that with you. Okay, so with that said, I'll give it to um, Swapnil for the demo. So Swapnil, if you wanna share your screen,
Sure.
take over.
Yeah. Let me know if you guys can see my screen. Alimi, can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen, and now they should be able to see your screen too. Let me just give me 1 sec. I'll make it a bit bigger for them. Uh, yeah, that should be nice now.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
So yeah, today I will be showing you the Postman GitHub integration. Recently, we have started receiving many questions like how it exactly works and how to generate a collection from an API schema and how to like publish a documentation over that collection. So and how the two-way sync of Postman and GitHub integration works. So yeah, like Postman allows you to back up your collection or your GitHub repo. It also allows you to synchronize your APIs on GitHub, and we'll see a quick demo. So let's get started over it. Yeah, so this is my personal workspace, which I have created a brand new personal workspace, Twitch, and I'll be creating an API over here, just a sample API. I'll just give it name it as my API
So is
version.
this
No.
is this available for everyone?
No, it won't be available, and it's into my personal workspace, and it will be available. Yeah,
Yeah,
if you
I'm
go
talking
to,
about the feature. Like, could anyone be able to do that?
yeah, everyone would
Okay.
be able to do that. Yep. And if you create this API, it's a sample API, and if you go into the define tab of the API, you can connect a repository, your GitHub repository with this API schema. So we'll see how it exactly works. So I'll go to my GitHub account. This is my brand new GitHub Git Postman repository.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my web dashboard of Postman.
So you're doing
And
that on Artemis beta as well. You're not
yes,
scared.
yeah. So I'll be creating an integration. So for this, I'll be on the same workspace, which is my Twitch workspace, which is a personal workspace. And I'll just go ahead and create an integration. I'll click on GitHub. I'll sync my API schema. I'll add my integration over here. And I have generated a GitHub token already, which I'll just insert it over here.
I just put the secret shield just a little bit too late, but it's fine. Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. And I'll just select my API. It will directly fetch the API that I have created under my account. And I'll select the repository to which my API should get synced. I'll just select it my Git Postman, and I'll just add an integration and continue. So yes, I did also got a payload URL. I'll just copy it over here, and it will be helpful in adding to my webhook and copy secret ID.
Okay, so just I won't put a secret shield. We'll revoke this after the stream
Yeah, yeah,
because it's too late now. It's gone. It's out there.
yeah. So I just created my API. It has version 1.0. It will automatically fetch over here, and I'll just give a branch as master.
Do
And
you have to give a branch or can you leave it empty?
yes, even if you leave it as empty, it will directly take as master branch.
Okay.
Yep. And directory, I'll just create it a new directory from Postman itself. I'll just create it from Postman. I'll write it down.
I mean, you can go ahead and you can copy that uh,
Mhm.
and post anything you want on that GitHub repository.
Yeah. I'll just create a file name as myapi.yaml, add an API version. Meantime, it gets added. I'll just quickly refresh my GitHub repo.
So in the meantime, I'm just going to answer a question that we had on the chat, which was
Yep.
Postman in the browser and even outside of the browser is very JS-centric. True. Are there any plans to expand outside of JS? Totally just curious. Not at the moment, not that I know of, and that's so. We have feature requests for supporting other language for test. One thing that we want to expand to is more of a no-code, low-code test generation rather than adding more languages for now. Just in terms of like uh, usability and expanding people like that could use Postman. So yeah, for now, not we have plans outside of JS, but it's not to other programming language. It's more like to other type of coding. Sorry, you can resume.
Yeah, sure, totally. So as you can see now, this your schema is in sync with my api.yaml file. In your GitHub repo, I just created my api.yaml file over here, and it is in sync with my GitHub repo. I just created it from my Postman, and this is my YAML file. And as it says, it's a two-way sync. Even if I edit this file, if I add anything else over here, it will be directly sync over to my API schema in the Postman. Just I'll add it from GitHub. This is just a sample, like
Yeah.
just a sample like I'm showing, and I'll just refresh it over here. It shows it's loading my YAML.
It's fine.
Yep.
Refresh again.
Yep. Now, and let me go back. Let's see. Just open it once again. I need to add webhook. I just forgot it.
Oh,
Let me
true,
add
true.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just add it over here. I'll just add a webhook over here and add my payroll URL, which has been generated from Postman. I'll select content type as JSON application and add my
So
secret key.
that's what's gonna allow Postman
Yeah.
to detect whenever something is pushed
Yes,
to.
this is,
Okay.
yep. And just create it over here. Now let me go over here. Let me sync again. Let me add it over here again. Edit this file. Let me refresh it quickly. Okay,
Ah,
so
nice.
it syncs. Yeah.
Yeah. It's better with the webhook.
Yeah. The
Lesson
thing
learned.
is, yeah. And recently we started receiving questions like how to, just publish the collection with the help of an API and how to create a documentation. So with the button over here, you can just generate a collection and you can just give it the collection name as my API, and you can just select what you want to do with this collection. It says like I create a documentation, so I'll like just select as an API documentation and generate a collection.
Aha.
Oh, let me check it.
Did not like. I think it's not liking the comments at the top. That's not a valid.
Yeah, yeah, I'll just remove it.
And so if you remove them and save this, now this will be pushed to GitHub as well, right?
GitHub repo as well. Yeah,
Okay.
even if I refresh it over here, and if I get refresh again and open this file again, uh, yeah, it has
Yeah,
synced
you,
over my GitHub file.
yeah.
Okay, so I'll just generate a collection, give it the name as my API documentation. Okay, a new collection has generated. And if I come to my collection tab, I can just uh,
So
publish a
what's in
documentation.
that collection?
It's like a basic collection. We create an API, and with that API, it's just a sample endpoint.
Okay.
It returns the details about a particular user. And with this, I can just publish an documentation. I can add uh, current version, environment if there are any applicable. If you have any custom domain, you can also mention the custom domain. And if you wish to add it over an API network and or add it to an Postman template, you can just select it over here. For now, I will just publish the collection, and here we go. I have this link, and I'll just go to navigate this link. And you can see my collection is being published.
Cool.
Yeah, that's all.
Easy.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice and easy.
Yeah.
And now you can delete it all.
Yeah.
Revoke all the tokens.
Yeah.
Um, so I know. So obviously we have documentations for that, right?
Yes, it's a
Okay.
public URL and it will be available to everyone
Okay.
on the web.
And okay, let me share back my screen.
Do you want me to stop my screen?
I should have taken over already. I think it's fine
Oh,
now.
okay, cool.
Um, okay, so we're back to here. So we have, you mentioned at the beginning, right? We can sync to GitHub,
Mhm.
but it's not the only integration we have with GitHub. And I think it's not the only integration at all. We have plenty. And
Yeah, we have plenty one.
that actually leads me to this thing that I want to highlight as well is our documentation team just like 3 weeks ago maybe uh, published this new how do you call that information architecture for the learning center, which makes it uh, way much easier to find stuff based on what you're currently doing with Postman. We used to have them split by plans, so you would have like Postman, Postman Pro, Postman Team, etc., etc. Now it's just by use case, which is quite easier. So, for example, you have the use case of adding integrations, and you can see that we have all of these ones that are available. So I'm not going to go through them all, but basically uh, plenty of them. Most of them, I believe, and you can stop me if I'm wrong, are only for paid accounts, so from Team Plan, uh, except the Postman integration, so which is just a Postman API key and you can do whatever you want with it, is for free. GitHub two-way sync is on the free plan as well, and OpenAPI. I'm actually, what is this? Oh, it's okay. So that's importing
Mhm.
OpenAPI specs, etc. And this is obviously for free. Um, so most of them would be for paid plan except a few. Vic, I'm learning about tools here. I don't know what VictorOps is. A real-time incident management platform. Okay, interesting. And the other thing is we'll be soon updating our integration. So you saw Swapnil going through creating an integration.
Yep.
We'll be updating, I think, the whole integration page and the whole integration flow to make it easier to add integrations. So if that's something you're into, keep an eye out for this. Um, Thank you, Andy. It's always good to hear. He says this is very neat. So we don't have any questions for now, but again, if anyone's watching and has Postman questions, please go ahead. The other thing is, I like we seem to have a lot of Postman aficionados or like that know quite a lot about Postman. So if there's anything that you would like a demo of, or if there's anything in Postman that you've not had the chance to play with yet, and you just want us to do it, um, feel free. We'll give it a try. I'm not saying we'll be able to do it because, as much as we know Postman, and I'm sure Swapnil knows more than me, I don't think we still know all of Postman because it's still a big thing. Okay, good. So Lorna wants to see the webhook receiving things, and do I want to use the web version or desktop version for that? So I'll start with the second question, which is, do I
And
want to use the web version or desktop version? This is totally up to you. Um,
available
Anything,
on both desktop and
yeah.
web as well.
We have, we should have feature parity between the two. That's what we're aiming for. But the web version still being in beta, there's still some little things that may not work. So um, I would recommend um, the desktop version just in case. That said, it seems that you're in complete R&D mode. So if you want to go full R&D mode, there's nothing wrong with going for the web version. Um, anyway, anything you do on the web version, since you're so the web version is only available when you're logged into your account. So anything you would do here would be synced to your Postman account. So if it stops working at some point, you can just revert back to the app and do it on the app. Um, Swapnil, do you have experience with webhooks?
Uh, I did worked on Slack webhooks mostly, but
Hmm.
yep. And
Did you
with
do? Yeah, do
mhm.
you have you ever done a collection with like the Postman webhooks?
No, never. I didn't.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's explore together.
Yep.
So we have that collection somewhere which is called Librarian. And I just need to um, in which account is this? That's the me and my 1,000 Postman accounts. Okay, let's try again. Librar. And now it's not showing up anymore. Interesting. So we have, I could go through documentation and we have, just to put some context to what we're trying to do, we have webhooks on Postman, which are stuff that you can trigger, um, but it says coming soon, and the documentation is not, I mean, as you can tell, there's not a lot in there. Um, so we have that one collection that actually documents uh, what you can do. I'm just trying to find the actual collection and not the blog.
Like, is it there in API network or template? Unlimited?
No, it's been it's been moved away. So what I'm
Okay.
going to do, I will turn this on. Okay. So you can still barely see my screen, but and I'm just gonna go to our Postman team and find it where it is. Okay. And viewing web. Okay. So I've got it now. I can revert to the Twitch workspace, which is this one, and move the script. Cool. So back here, and I'll go back to the Twitch, and let's do. So bye bye, Andy. Have a good day.
YNT.
Lorna, I work for a two-way communications API company. I spend a lot of time teaching developers how to do big things, so knowing how to do this would be very useful. Cool. So I do have a question for you. Were you asking about just seeing the basics, like basic webhooks, or are you asking about what Kevin was mentioning when he talks about ngrok and stuff? In the same time, basic would be a great start. Yep.
Basic would be great. Yeah.
So let's do basic because I'm not sure I would be able to set up what Kevin was mentioning anyway. Um, So Libra is Postman collection allows you to use Slack to check the availability, and so that collection we publish it. I'm not sure why it's been unpublished. I think it's just a mistake on our end. Uh, and but I think I shared that already earlier. So you can search. So that's the collection. What it does. That's not the one we're interested in. What we're interested in is just the actual documentation of creating a Postman monitor. So sorry, let's go and create a random collection. So we'll call it uh, Webhooks demo, and once it's created, was it created?
Lots of collection.
Ah, there we go. We create a single API request, and this one. So what could this one do? This one. Oh, I wish I. Let me see. Because what if? So last week I actually did a stream with Lorna, and we used the Nexmo or the Vonage API, but I forgot where I've put it. Oh, I don't know uh, which workspace it's in. No. Okay, that's fine. I can send an API code to use the code by and we'll be able to see that. So for now, I'm just looking for one where.
Maybe we can go to the all collections, Arlimi.
Yep.
Let me share you the script.
In the meantime, we have a question from Vine Shape. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry. Can you remove all unused CSS using Postman? Well, if there's an API to do that, yes. Uh, Postman won't do things for you. Postman calls services, um, and these services are actually doing an action. You could do some scripting using Postman, but that's not like I think to your question. Uh, so Swapney sent me a link to all my collections. So yeah, to your question, if there's an API that allows to test which CSS is not being used on a specific website, then yes, can you can do that using Postman. Well done. There I
Yeah,
go.
we found it.
So I have my collection. I'll just use the same. I'm just doing that because I want to use the same code that we created the other day, which was this one. Send an SMS. Yep. And I can copy this, go back to Postman, import. Okay. I can save that request to my new collection. Yep. Webhooks demo.
Yep.
And let me put Webhooks demo at the top. And I'll delete this one. So what I'm creating now is just a collection that will be called whenever that webhook is being triggered. So is this still working? Nah, it's not working
Yep.
because I don't have the environment probably. So I'm guessing with that collection, I just need to
No
find.
environments.
Yeah. So I'll go to my personal. Actually, I have no clue where. Would this tell me where it is stored on my account?
Mm,
Advantage. It just says you, but it doesn't tell me which.
it's into meosql.post
Yeah,
meosql team.
yeah. So that's the one. That's the team. But I'm not sure where. It's not on this one.
Mm.
Is it in this one? No.
Can you open that collection once again, Alimi, on web? You can just.
Yep. Just one sec. Yep.
Does it have any collection ID? You can just take the collection ID and.
It has. You want
Yeah.
this one?
Yeah. Yeah. Can you ping me the link? I'll just.
I think I'm trying too hard. I could just go here and take the copy back the thing that we did last time. It doesn't really matter anyway what's in the collection. We'll see if we can add it later, but at the moment we really want to show webbook. So I have a collection which for now does nothing, while Swaply is helping me find the right collection. But all we want to do is call that one. So let's go back here.
It's sorry, Alim. It's merely alim.meo@postman.
Yeah, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
But do you know the workspace that is?
Just a moment.
So I'm gonna go ahead and generate an API key.
It's a shared. I can see.
Okay, it's a shared. You don't know more than.
And we have something description to that collection. Let me ping you. Yeah.
Integrations. So I'm doing so basically now. What I'm going to do is go ahead and follow these instructions to create the Postman webhooks. So first step being what Swapnil did in his demo earlier, which was create a an API key for Postman. So I'm here, and I'll create the Postman API key, and I'll call it webhooks, and I'll have an API key. That's not complete here, so it's fine. I'm just gonna paste that somewhere on the side, and I can use it later. Cool. So I have my API key. It's been created now. It's not being used yet. Second step is retrieve all your collection by sending a GET request to this endpoint. So I can do that in Postman. I'll have that send request. I think the authorization should be here. So I can put API key. Stop me if I'm wrong, Swapnil, but I believe that's how you call this. And you can say I want this to be added to the header, and I can paste my API key here. Cool. So now I have all my collections. Let me clear a bit. I don't need this. I don't need this. Don't need this. Don't need this. Cool. Now I need to find. So not the librarian collection because this one I've called it Webhooks demo. So I can actually search in my response here by clicking here, and I can look for Webhooks demo. So that would be my collection. So that call sends me all the collections that have been created from this account, and there's plenty because we use that account a lot. But what I'm interested in that specific collection. All right, so I've got this now, and I need to make a note of the UID field, so I'll save that on the side as well. And then it tells me to do a different call to my environments. So I don't have an environment for that collection, but I'll create one just in case I need to Webhooks, just in case I need to add credentials later. I don't want to have to do that after the thing. So I'll say creds 20 for now. Okay, so now I have a new environment that I could select. And if I send that call again, I can look for webhook environment and send again, copy this and use for later. Okay. And now let's create a Postman webhook. Create a new post request to api.getpostman.com/webhooks. So I'll go ahead and put this as a post. I still have my authorization set up, send API key. For the body, select row. So I'm going to the body and I'll select a row as a body type and change the type to JSON. There we go. Add the example body below. Send a request and copy to webhook. So this, I wish there was a there was a thing I could easily copy paste, but there isn't. So what I'm going to do again, I'll just have it on the side, and I'll do it. Okay, so it's a webhook which has a name of webhook demo. It has a collection, which is my collection UID. I'll add it later. And it has an environment. So here what we're doing, we're setting up the parameters for our webhook. So basically, whenever that webhook is going to be triggered, it's going to look for a collection with that specific UID, and it's going to run it with that specific environment. So the things I'm pasting here are the things that I found before, and I forgot the comment here. Okay, so I've done this. So I'll revert back to the documentation. Change the type to JSON. We've done that. And copy. So I can send that now. And it says not int workspace error. The entity is not in the specified workspace. Interesting. So what is this? Let me see if I copied that correctly.
Collection ID.
Have the UID here. Webhook demo. And then collection environment. Am I on the right account? Yes. And which?
Collection ID, correct.
Did I copy the same thing? No, I did not. So it can't. So what it's saying is just that it can't find these specific things in that specific workspace, but it is in that workspace. So let's go ahead and do our previous calls again. So what I can do instead of Okay, then I can go to my history. I see I have my calls here, and I can just run them again. And I'll make sure that I have Webhooks demo. I am the owner, and I can update here. So it should be the exact same. Yep. And then I'll go for the same environment, send, and search. Thanks, Vinay. Have a good day. And thanks for the support, Lorna, while we try to to get this working. Um, and I'm pasting again the exact same thing, so probably gonna get the same error. Yeah. That is interesting. So I do not know why it's saying that. Um, Maybe because I'm sending that request from. So let's go ahead and say uh, this. I'll export that as curl, and I'll go to my personal workspace. And now import.
Import.
Continue. Okay. No. Hmm. And now I get a 400 digit path syntax. I mean, working is kind of a bonus. Seeing where things are, and also how you debug some of these stuff is true. Actually, yeah. What I was doing, I realized I was about to recreate all the requests, and I realized, oh wait, we have a history in Postman where you can just go back and
Yeah,
see
you
the
can.
previous request. Um, but yeah, seeing it work is still like it's kind of big bonus, you know. I really like when it works though. So let's go ahead and think through that. My collection is in here,
Webhooks demo.
and my environment is in here. Oh,
Oh,
so
okay.
it may be because this is
Yeah.
not my team. Uh, this is someone else's team, and I'm just someone that joined. So maybe I don't have the right. So I'll just what I'm going to do. Uh, I should be able to share that to my personal workspace. Nope, it's gone, and I'll do it all in my personal workspace. So I should have all the rights. So I have it here. I'll recreate an environment. It's going to be Webhooks environment. Heads. Okay. So let's go ahead and redo everything. So we want. I went way too far up. Okay. This one with. Oh, this one didn't have authorization. It did. Okay. So we want API key to be in the header. Good. Okay. And now we want a Webhooks demo, and we paste that in here. And let's change that one to environments. And so this one should be different. Oh wait, because now I have different ones. Did I call them the same? No. This one is Webhook. Actually, let me double check that I took the right here. Yeah, okay. Okay.
Webhooks. Yeah.
All right, so we can work on the error message. Um, Danny is asking us if we need to add the X workspace. Might not be the right name, header, and add the ID. Yes, you're late, Danny. Should have been here much before. No, just kidding. I think it's just yeah, I think it was really just um, the permissions because it was not my team and so something like this. But yeah, so the error could have been better. I don't think I've used the
Mhm.
search and response video before much. Watching someone else use the tool is always illuminating. Oh. Okay, so we have our webbook URL now, uh, and that's what you can call. So let's go back to our documentation. We will use webbook URL in the Slack configuration as the request URL. Essentially, things like to run the postman monitor when the Slack command is triggered, and that's basically it, right? Like, if we were to go back to the Vonage documentation, and I think we may have discussed that off stream last time,
Mhm.
but yeah, the Vonage documentation has this schema that says how their webhooks would work. Um, so you could send stuff. Next mode sends a text somewhere. It's waiting for a callback, and when their callback is coming, here as the URL, you would put that one that has been created for you, and calling that will trigger the collection. So that collection, which is this one that would be sending an SMS, but actually doesn't, because I need to I need to make it prettier. And with that environment, so if I have my stuff here, you send
Collection.
it here. And that's pretty much it. So if you don't struggle with permissions for 10 minutes, it's pretty straightforward. Uh, though it is still in beta and it's not like it is there. You can use it. Don't use it in production because you never know when it's gonna come out, or if it's gonna stay, or if we're gonna change the parameters. But yeah, as you can tell, like it's not completely ready yet. But yeah, definitely take it for a test drive. Let us know. Um, Let us know how it worked. If it worked, what we can improve. That's what we like to get out of from the community as well. It would just be a debug helper for me. Health warning accepted. Okay, cool. Um, yeah, that's where it's interesting as well, right? Because like you could run any collection, and if in your collection you have some tests that are running, you could have a summary of what has passed and what hasn't passed, etc. So that's pretty good. Danny was in a stand-up.
Yeah.
Okay, then it's allowed. All right. So anything else that we'd like to see? Um, I'm
Webinar, maybe.
webinar. Oh, let's wait a bit more. We still have 10 minutes. I don't want to go
Yeah.
straight to webinar.
Yeah.
I'm just scared because now we have Danny watching and
Mhm.
we have Newman here. And if Danny asks any like Newman related questions, I'm not able to answer them. So, um, but yeah, reminder, if anyone has any questions regarding post menus, regarding uh, a project that you may be working on, and
Any
either
use
it's something
case,
that you're yeah, either it's
workflow.
something that you're stuck with, or just questions about how to make it easier. Um, what's Newman? Swapnil, do you want to take that question?
Uh, Let me check. What's Newman? Newman is a tool to run the collection using CLI, I would say.
Yeah, I would say that too. CLI collection runner, and what are the advantages of that?
Uh, Advantages, I would say it is used in CI/CD pipeline, and if you have any continuous integration development cases, that would be a great tool to proceed with.
Yeah, great. That's probably the main reason why you would use Newman. I'm guessing some people I'm guessing some people are more comfortable using the command line, right? And
Yeah.
it's just easier for them to uh, to export and use it as the command line. Also, one of the advantage and quick plug is that a Newman exports or allows you to export full reports of what's happened during your collection. So like obviously if you run a collection through let me see, I have a collection here. It's actually so this collection turns on the light in Joyce's kitchen. So I could actually send that with the right environment. Yep. So now you can't see because she's not online, but now the light in Joyce's kitchen is on. But let's run that collection, and if you run that collection with the collection runner, so um, you will get a summary. So you have like the summary of test passed, test failed, and that's pretty much it. Newman allows you um,
Detailed report.
to have a lot more details, and there's because it's open source as well. There are contributions to it. There's one that is called the Newman HTML extra reporter or extra HTML reporter. I never know the exact name. Um, but yeah, Danny made that with the help of other community members, and it's pretty useful. Yeah, Donna is saying, I'm sure Joyce will appreciate our lights going on at 3 a.m. She actually, so she made this for people to use. I'm not the one to blame. She even made a blog post about it. But also, she did complain about. She didn't complain. She did talk about it one day. She came online, so it was like probably 3 p.m. for us in the UK, and she was like, "Oh, who's been changing my lights like my light color every 5 minutes for the last 2 hours? I kept changing like, yeah." And so that's the fun thing. Like when it was just a few of us, when it was on the stream and only like 2 or 3 of us were aware how to change it, um, it's fine. She knew pretty much who did it. But now that there's like a blog post out there, anyone can change it at any time. I think the next thing she needs to do is have a webcam, like a 24-hour webcam just on the light so people can see when it's being changed. Uh, but yeah, okay. Um, if there are no other questions, I'll take Swapnil's advice and I'll talk to you all about where to go next. Because we'd go offline because we have, I guess Swapnil, you probably have a lot of tickets, or I don't know actually. Is it quiet at the moment, support, or how is it?
I would say there would be.
Okay, so you
Because,
do have some work to do.
yeah.
Um, I also have some documentation to write for our next release, which is next Monday. And again, there's some cool stuff coming up. Can't talk about it yet because it's not released. There's some stuff we're allowed to tease, some stuff we're not. Um, but yeah, before we leave you all with this, we wanted to talk to you about a webinar. So basically, I don't know if you know, but we at Postman run events. So obviously we used to do in-person events, but we've always done also online events. And if you're interested in which events are coming up, so we have our community forum where we post most of our like Twitch streams, etc. But we also have our website where if you scroll all the way down, you have this tag which is what's happening at Postman, and you can see in the month of August we have 4 webinars. Don't add on them all. Uh, 4 webinars in a month is a lot. Um, they're all posted in replay. We don't want you to get like webinar slash postman fatigue. So um, pick the one that you're interested in. Um, this one is going to talk about APIs 101, not only in the context of Postman, just in the context of APIs. So what's an API? How do you define an API? What are the difference? Um, how do you call an API? I didn't write this one. My colleague Sue is going to run this one. This one is product specific. We have a thing called the Postman API network, where you can put the documentation for your APIs and have people see the documentation, but also import all the code straight into the Postman and play with it, as well as get like code generated for them. This one is run by Joyce and Vinit, one of our product marketing manager. Um, this one is API governance. Um, I don't have to say who's running this one because obviously our API governance person is Kinlane, so he'll be doing API governance, a webinar, and last is Postman one-on-one for developers, which is one that we run every month for all the new joiners, but anyone outside of here is like outside of the new joiners is always welcome to join. Um, this one is one-on-one specific for Postman. So how do you send a request in the context of Postman? How do you test in the context of Postman, etc., etc. And that's about it. Do you have any, Swapnil, do you have anything that you think people should know about Postman, resources wise? Where actually, what's the best way to get support?
Yeah, learning center documentation of Postman. It's like a very resourceful, useful resource to get started with. And there are also useful videos on YouTube with on the Postman's channel to subscribe it, and you will be get notified if there are any new videos.
And
And yeah.
what if I'm a Postman user
Mhm.
and something is not working? Who do I reach out to?
Yeah, if you have any queries related to the product, or if you have any queries, then please to reach out to help@getpostman and we'll answer your queries.
Yep, that's the one I always plug. So I used to run this Postman one-on-one webinar and always say at the end, if you don't find your answer in the documentation on the community forum and or on GitHub,
Mhm.
and like the chances are very low, but just in case, there's always like the Swap News team, Swap News and colleagues are always like very helpful. They answer very fast to any queries, so feel free to reach out to them. Again, it is you said help at postman.com. I always get confused. All right.
Yeah.
With that said, I'll wish you all a good day. Um, Swapnil, talk to you later. Chat. See you on Thursday for the next stream where we're going to talk about uh, authentication with someone from Ping Identity. And bye bye, everyone.
Bye everyone. Thanks,
Bye.
Alimi.
All right, bye.
Yeah.